Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today, I'm bringing a piece of news that's shaking up social media. Sarah Bluma has finally broken her silence about her breakup with Ken Yaman. And what she revealed left many people speechless. The key point, when the word marriage came up, everything changed. According to Sarah, for months we saw romantic photos, affectionate messages, and public appearances together. But behind it, there was a different reality. She claims that the moment marriage was mentioned, he began to pull away. And she didn't say it dramatically. She said it firmly. In her version, Ken allegedly confessed something very clear. He couldn't handle that relationship. He didn't want to carry that responsibility. And he didn't want to put that burden on her. The argument that broke everything, Sarah describes a decisive episode. A heated fight at home, voices raised, ending in the worst way. She recalls Ken storming out, slamming the door so hard that the sound still echoes in her memory. And the hardest part, he didn't come back. I got a notification, and it was over. Here comes the detail that caused the biggest impact. Sarah says that after hours of thinking, she checked her phone and saw what, for her, was the final confirmation. Ken unfollowed her and removed her from all his social media. She interprets it as a cold and final message, as if instead of talking, he decided to announce the breakup with a single gesture. Social media split in two. After those statements, the public divided. Some accused him of running away when it was time to face commitment. Others said there were hidden problems we still don't know about. Sarah sums it up with a sentence that explains everything. I was ready to fight for us, but he chose to escape. She even leaves an idea hanging. Maybe he was very afraid of marriage, though she admits she can't be sure. The most explosive rumor, the family didn't want a wedding. As if that weren't enough, another strong claim is circulating that Ken's family wasn't comfortable with the idea of marriage. And every time the relationship became serious, a break appeared. According to a source close to them, Ken was already overwhelmed by his work, and with the added pressure of marriage, he felt trapped. A phrase is even repeated that was allegedly said several times. It's still too soon. Is it true? It can't be confirmed. But what stands out is that it fits with what Sarah described. Sarah's circle reacts. He didn't want to take responsibility. Friends of Sarah, upset by everything that happened, say she was very considerate. She respected his career, his exhaustion, his pace. And they repeat one idea. He didn't want to take responsibility. They also say Sarah ended up emotionally drained, especially because of the comments and attacks she received online. Will Ken Yaman respond? So far, Ken has made no statements. People around him suggest he's not ready to speak yet. But another rumor is also spreading, that he's very affected by what Sarah said and may be preparing a more detailed response. Sarah's most human ending. In the end, Sarah confessed something painful to hear. She didn't want anyone to know how badly she was suffering. She kept it inside for a long time. But now, by telling her truth, she feels she's beginning her healing process. Every time the name Demet Özdemir gets mixed into these kinds of stories, my first reaction is rejection. Not because I dislike her, but because it feels like they're trying to drag her into a fight that isn't even hers. I can't stand this habit of throwing Demet into other people's dirt, as if her name were a necessary ingredient to make the show more sensational. And the most absurd part is that to me, Demet shouldn't even have to mention those people. She doesn't need it. It adds nothing. And the farther she stays from the circus, the better she looks. What Demet conveys to me is something else. A public figure who already understood that noise feeds itself, and if you jump in to respond, you end up sinking into the same mud. That's why I fully understand the choice to not touch the topic and stay on the sidelines. I read it as self-protection and also as elegance. When the atmosphere is full of shouting, insinuations, and attacks, silence can be the strongest message. And honestly, it seems like the smartest option. I'm not naive. I know someone will try to label her guilty, interested, or hiding something. It's the same script every time. As soon as there's conflict, someone needs a villain, and someone looks for a famous name to use. But reading the comments, I noticed something else too. People are tired of these wars. They laugh at the spectacle, and they see clowns where others try to sell drama. There's obvious fatigue with all the exaggeration. And in that scenario, Demet seems like the only one who doesn't play the game, the only one who doesn't trade her image for a few minutes of attention. For me, the key is understanding that Demet doesn't have to justify herself for a story she didn't create. You can't demand a reaction from her about something that isn't hers. It bothers me that some insist on using her as an excuse. If this happens, then Demet. If they broke up, then Demet. No, everyone should take responsibility for their own life. I hold on to a very simple idea that also appears in the comments. No one destroys you as much as you destroy yourself when you let yourself be dragged by excess, hunger for attention, or anger. And in that sense, Demet represents the opposite. She doesn't look for a fight. She doesn't insist. She doesn't obsess over accepting or not accepting what others do. On top of that, there are people around all this who react in an exaggerated way, as if they needed treatment, or as if their behavior were no longer normal. And without trying to diagnose anyone, I can say that energy unsettles me. Constant attacks, permanent victimhood, inability to let go, eagerness to stage an ugly battle. And where does Demet fit into that? Nowhere. That's exactly why it feels unfair to lump her into the same category. To me, Demet isn't the out-of-control character. At most, she's the name some people use to fan the flames. And there's another thing that weighs on me. The sense of self-interest and greed you can feel in the whole environment. Money, fame, the beautiful life, wanting more than you already have, looking for extra bread on top of the loaf. As one comment said, this idea of never being satisfied and always trying to profit. That mindset disgusts me, and that's why it reassures me to see Demet not fighting for scraps of attention. I see her above that, not because she's perfect, but because her career and image should stand on her work, not on someone else's drama. If you ask me what I think of Demet in the middle of this chaos, it's clear to me she seems the most sensible. And being sensible today is almost an act of rebellion. Because what's easy is to latch onto the show, respond, attack, cry in public, insinuate, leak things, dramatize. What's difficult is to let the noise die out on its own. From my point of view, I feel Demet understood that silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. It's saying, I won't lower myself to your level. In short, I don't buy the narrative that Demet has anything to do with other people's messes. To me, she's a woman who, precisely because she knows her worth, doesn't mix in. And if someone wants to play at destroying reputations, they should start by looking in the mirror. In the end, the person who ruins their life is usually the one who insists on living off war. Demet, instead, I see as focused, distant, and above all, out of the mud. And I hope she stays that way. No replies, No involvement, no names, because the best thing she can do is keep going her own way and let the spectacle suffocate from lack of oxygen.